YouTube! Today we got a special one. We're here with Daniel. We'll let him introduce himself here in a little bit. He's going to show us some cool stuff that Mac Tools has and their technology line, and they got a lot of cool stuff coming. So Daniel.
My name's Dan and I'm with the Rbrt team for Mac Tools. And what we've got here today, Justin's been good enough to bring me in and he's bought some of this stuff, and I wanted to just come in and explain it a little bit and give it a little bit of a demo, so we'll just get right down to it.
Yeah, we'll get right into it here.
Okay.
So hold on here. Now we got to angle this down so we can see what we're doing here. Oop. There we go. All right.
Okay. So what we've got here is a demo block, Justin, and I've got a good hex head and one that's been rounded out about 95–98% rounded out, and I've got a competitor tool here, and I'm going to hand that over to you.
Alrighty.
And I want you to put it in the good one to show that it actually fits in there like it should.
Yep, this is a good one.
And then go ahead and put her into the stripped one there and give her a couple of turns and see if you can get that thing to loosen out.
All right. Oh, we got a heavy. No,
just strips right over.
Strips right out.
Right. So now I'm going to take that one off you. Give you our Rbrt hex. Now when you put it into the good one, I want you to notice that it gives you a really superior bite. The way that this thing bites in, grabs into the corners and pulls the pressure to the center rather than pushing it to the outside edges. So you're not going to strip one in the beginning. So you want to use it the first time every time.
So what you're saying is basically we probably need to get rid of all of our hexes and just buy these.
That's my goal, sir.
Yeah, okay, don't worry about it. Justin's on top of it. All right.
So it gives you a really nice bite into a good one.
Alrighty.
Now when you put it into the rounded one, we saw how the competitor tool went. So you put it in there.
Yeah, it's even hard to get in there.
Got to find the sweet spot. There it is. Now it's in. Now give her a little torque, and you can crack them loose.
You can crack these right loose.
Cracks them right loose. The science is now that I've developed a way to grab the metal in a whole new different way. So I'm able to grab all corners of the flat spots and turn out a rounded bolt.
Okay.
Fantastic preventer, but if you come across the damaged one, compromised through rust, age, or it's been stripped out, make sure you bottom it into the fastener, even give it a little tap with a hammer if you have to, and make sure you get it to sit down into that fastener, crack them loose, and take them out.
Now your technology is based on the twist, right?
The twist. They've got some flat spots that grab in, and it's twisted to the left so that as you start to apply torque, rather than pushing to the corners like a regular one, it pulls it to the center.
Pulls it to the center.
Pulls it to the center. And allows me to turn it
down.
Now
the biggest thing that we were talking about this earlier is people don't get confused that this is for an Allen. It's not a Torx bit.
That's correct.
Yes.
Because it's the only Allen that has a U-shaped cavity machined into it, it can be misunderstood.
Yes, that's what I think the biggest thing is. Like when I first saw him, like, oh, these are for like Torx, and he's like, no, they're for Allens. I was like, okay, well, put all that shit on order because I need to have it.
The two technologies, they look very similar, but they will not interchange successfully. Hex works for hex, and now that you've brought up Torx, let's go to our Torx demo block.
Alrighty.
Okay, so we've got a competitor tool here, and once again, a demo block that's got a good one in it.
Okay, so just show you, this is, this is the Torx side, correct?
Yep.
And we have a Torx Allen.
Fits in a good one like it should.
Yes, fits in a good one.
Right. Now go ahead and put her in the rounded out one and see if you can get that loosened up.
All right, and this one is pretty rounded out. I can definitely tell by looking at that.
And that's what happens with the Torx. They don't stretch a bolt when they strip. They cam out, so as they leave the fastener, it removes material.
And then you're screwed.
And then you are. So what my Rbrt bit will do is because of the bevels that I have in it, when you put it into a good one, it actually sits down in there a little deeper. It's a little nicer, snugger fit.
I can tell you by feeling it, Dan.
Right.
It does feel like there's more, what would you call that, cam engagement?
It just engages the bottom of that fastener better.
Engages, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does. Now go ahead and put her in the stripped one and give her a little torque.
Oh, it's probably not good. And you
can crack them loose.
Tendinitis.
Oh, I can help you with that.
No, we got.
And they tighten them down.
And they tighten right back up. Yeah. And then the secret to get them out is, he said, you just got to cam it just a little bit.
Turn it back the other way. You'll feel it release a lot of times.
Oh man, this is really
The more
good.
pressure that you put on it, the harder it can be. So go back just a little bit. There it is.
All
We're
right.
out of there.
Now we're
So
out
that's
of
my new Torx set.
That's the new Torx. Okay.
We also have the 12-point triple square.
I guarantee the Volkswagen, freaking Mercedes guys.
Yep.
And who else uses triple squares?
Some BMW.
Oh, BMW.
Some Porsche, because it's all of the VW family. So you got Porsche, Audi, Volkswagen, just hundreds and hundreds of cars that use the triple square.
All right, as you can see, these triple squares are pretty used, and this
That one's
is
just
a
stripped right out. Yeah, that's
stripped
the
right
competitor
out
tool.
competitor tool.
That
And
one
then
fits
it-
okay like it should.
It fits okay, but you can like, it's kind of hard to explain. Dan, I feel like just playing around with these, I've never really messed with triple squares, but I can tell you the engagement, like how solid, when this goes down in there,
Yeah.
it's a lot more positive contact.
And you can feel it bite down into that fastener and gives you just more of a grip.
So this is it in the standard.
Right.
Now I got it messed up again. Oh, there we go. Okay, and here's the stripped out one.
Turns them right out.
Turns them right out like nothing. This is amazing. I don't use a lot of triple squares, but you know, we'll be putting that shit on order. I have to get that, fellas.
And then finally, as far as my Torx bits or my bit sockets go, this is our Torx Plus.
Torx Plus. Now, I can tell you, like I was talking to Dan, Torx Plus, I feel strip out easier than Torx, Allen's, or anything.
Right.
We were talking about some things that I had problems with. You know, this is the competitor in the regular version, or the non-stripped headed. And then this is the one in the, what I would call it, the stripped one.
Yep.
Correct, Dan?
Just wore on out.
Just wore on out, you know. Jesus.
And then there's your RBRT bit.
Rbrt. Now again, when you put it in the nice fastener, again, the engagement just
You can
feels,
definitely feel it, yeah.
it feels,
And it just cracks them loose.
cracks them right
The
loose.
RBRT technology allows these bit sockets to sit down in the fastener deeper, and as you go to engage the metal, they just lock themselves in, and it won't cam out.
Yeah, it's just, it's
Amazing
It's so
grip.
cool, you know. Let's see if we can focus. There we go. It's just, it's a great technology. Like when I first started buying it, I was super excited.
Right?
You know?
Something new. It's one of the newest innovations to come to the tool world in a long, long time. I mean, maybe even since the gear wrench 40 years ago. This is something that goes across many lines, many different profiles. I mean, you know, the hex head has been around 110 years, and nothing has ever. There's been no innovation at all.
Yeah,
It's
they
been the
just keep
same.
Well, they made innovations. They went to triple squares,
Right, they made
Torx
different
plugs,
fasteners.
but you know, it's still what I would call a socket head cap screw.
Yep, exactly.
Doesn't matter.
So the last thing I want to talk to you about today is our new broken bolt extractor.
These are pretty cool.
And it's got what they call foreign object removal, or FOR technology, and that's the little threaded sleeve that you have there.
Okay, so like we
right.
were talking about it, again, I'm going to show you. When I first I thought these were to get a better engagement into the fastener, which you can do that when you're trying to
right.
remove it. But it's also made it that these bite so well and they remove so well, this will get embedded and it makes it hard to get the fastener off. So they made this, so you just spin this out and it pushes it out just like a hydraulic press.
Exactly the same, just pushes it off nice and clean.
Pushing it
I've
off.
got a demo block set up over here if you can reload our camera, and I'll show you exactly what we're talking about. So whether or not you're working with a hex or a Torx or some kind of cap screw like a triple square, or you've just simply broken the head off a bolt and you have to drill a hole, okay? They come in a 7-piece set. They are marked with a drill bit index, so it takes the guesswork out of what drill bit to use. Just follow that drill bit for that size, right?
For that size.
So let's just say for the sake of purposes, this is snapped off flush and we've drilled a hole, okay?
Okay.
So once you've drilled your hole, you're gonna beat your extractor into
Your thing.
the deal. Now, when it comes to extractors, it's all about the bite. The better the bite, the better your chances of getting it out. So what I want to do now, it would be easy enough to crack that loose, but Justin, what I want you to do is put some pressure in the tightening position so you can see how well these bite in. Really give it some power.
Yeah, dude, wow.
That's an extractor, and you are working against the design of the head because it's swept to the left for loosening, you see?
Yeah.
So unlike a tapered or a fluted extractor, when you bang ours into the hole, you get full bite all the way down and all the way around, not just at the top leading edge like with a tapered extractor. And a tapered extractor, when you apply torque, it pushes to the outside corners. We were talking about that, like with a brass fitting, right? So as you start to apply pressure, it actually works against itself. My head design, the teeth are swept inwards, so as you apply pressure, it pulls the pressure to the center. It's a more efficient way to extract a bolt, right?
Yes.
So now, okay, we've cracked it loose and we're getting it out. Look, I didn't even get that bad boy in there very straight.
No,
but out it comes, and you saw how nice and tight that thing bit in there. And like we were saying, the next chore is to try to separate these two.
Yes.
So grab that pair of pliers and spin the collar down and grab it right there. And we're gonna work together. And you just simply, and it pops it right off, just like that.
Oh, that's just
nice and easy. That way you don't damage the tip of your tool. It pushes it off nice and clean. You can reuse them over and over and over again, not just like a one-shot Charlie, like with a threaded one or a fluted one.
Yeah.
Once you separate it, it usually destroys it, pulling it apart.
Yeah, like
that.
Like that, or you break the tap off.
Right. So what I want to show you is I'm going to go back into that same hole again, which you could never do with another extractor. We're going to beat our tool back into it. Give her a little bit more pressure. Tighten that bad boy down. See how well it bites in. It bites in just as well the second time as it did the first time.
Yeah.
So now you can crack that loose. So here's where we're going to stop. Another cool thing about this threaded sleeve is that if extracting can be kind of like an art form. You bang it in, you got to work it back and forth. Sometimes you got to apply the heat. Sometimes you got to pull the torch in it. What this little sleeve can do is if you spin that collar down and grab a wrench, you can pull it straight up out of the hole without damaging the hole or the tool. Now you can heat that bad boy up.
And you're not heating
and you're not destroying your tool with the naked flame.
turning it blue.
So back into the same hole for the third time. Tighten down on that. 3 times now in the same hole.
Wow.
The bite's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, it also gives me a lot of confidence on just the feel. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, I think a lot about why I was always, when I first, when you're first as a young mechanic, you're going to break a lot of stuff. And then you have to go to an older guy that has a lot more confidence to get it out. I feel like even as a beginner, just the feel and the technique to use is very simple to learn.
Right.
And it's going to give you confidence. That's what I'm trying to say. It gives me a lot of confidence in how that feels.
There's a lot of confidence in the fact that if you can drill a hole and smash this in, it's going to bite down like a devil, and it's not going to let go.
Yeah, then you don't have to go to your service manager and say, hey, you got to call the welder guy out here to weld this, bolt out of there.
So one of the other things this sleeve will do, and you alluded to this earlier when we were talking.
That's what I thought it was for.
Right. When you heat that bolt up, now you've softened it.
Yes.
So if you were to smash a regular extractor down in there, a lot of times you can get some waller. When you put torque on it, it'll start to move around, chew up the center of the hole.
Yes, correct.
With this little sleeve, you can spin it down and just take a wrench and just give it a little quarter of a turn, a nice little snug. You can feel it snug up.
Yeah.
Now you've created some reverse pressure and given yourself a nice stable platform, and you've reinforced the head, and you won't get any waller. And now you can go ahead and crack that loose, and out it'll come.
Yeah.
What we've created with Rbrt is a system. It's a family. It's a technology of tools. So you start with the hex. If it's a good bolt, it'll take it out. If it's a compromised one, the chances of it coming out are very, very good. However, at some stage, you may not be able to get it out with the hex. Then you reach for your Rbrt extractor. Drill a little hole, bang it in. If it can be unthreaded, if it can be removed.
If it can't, if it can be removed, these will work.
Right. Sometimes you got to drill and tap.
Yes,
that's life.
Yeah, that's life.
It's not magic. It doesn't scare it out of the hole. But if it can be removed through the unthreading process, ours will get them every time.
All righty. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say, is there a difference between a grade 8 bolt and whatever? And I can read that this is basically a grade 8 cap screw. It's a 12.9. It's going to be the same tensile strength as a grade 8. Just wanted to say, because some people are like, oh, it's a grade 8, they're a little bit harder,
Right.
And some people would think it's only for a class 5.
Well, when we're talking about a cap screw like a hex especially, those things are like little wells. They just hold water and corrosion and just holds it in there.
Yeah.
So the outside of that bolt may be very corroded and soft and won't withstand the pressures of it being that it needs to loosen it, to crack it loose. But if you drill down into the post of that, the corrosion's not nearly as bad, and you bang our extractor in, and now you've got good raw metal to meet with, and you can pull them out. Yeah. So that's a very good point. But they are for use on all types of metal, all types of screws, whether cap screw, whether it's a broken bolt, drill a hole, smash it in, and out she'll come.
Yeah, as you can see, it doesn't have to be straight.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he showed me this one, I was like, this is a rookie right here, or made to look like a rookie.
That was me, actually, in
the
shop, and I broke the head of it off, and I went at it, and as I was starting drilling, I'm like, okay, I'm not drilling this very well.
Yeah, it's going to be off-center.
And I banged it in, but I looked at it, I'm like, well, that makes a point. That makes a very good point.
This makes a very good point. It'll come out at any angle.
All you need to do is get it to bite in.
Yeah, that's
and when
so
you're
awesome.
And when you're looking at you felt how the bite of these heads are, when you look at pulling this out, you're only going into that cap screw like 1/8 of an inch. I mean, you're not going in very far, and you've got so much bite. I mean, the further down into the hole that you get, the more penetration into the cavity, the better.
Yeah,
Obviously,
the better, yes.
The better
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at a cap screw, you're going to be at a certain limit anyway.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you drill down too far, well, then the head will just pop off.
Right. It doesn't need to have a whole lot of depth to get the great bite that it has.
Yeah, I know. It's absolutely amazing. I'm really, I think this is a great technology, and, I'm happy to buy them for Mac.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if Mac wants to send me some, I'm always open. You know what I'm saying? The door is open.
The door is open.
The door is open. But all righty. Anything else, Daniel?
That's my presentation for you today. I really appreciate you inviting me down to the shop and talking to me about it. It's a great new technology. I think we're going to go a long way with it.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you
for coming by and all that stuff. And, hopefully you guys learned some stuff here about the RTR bits. So, put it in the comments section, get a hold of your Mac guy, and get you some of these. All righty, guys.